Hello, everyone. Everyone who may be awake and up at this late hour. Thought I would have a quick discussion with you guys, if that's alright with you. Hello, Bradley. In the description of this video, you'll see a link to the Midgard Musings YouTube channel, which I hope you'll click on, and click on the subscribe button if you haven't already. Really appreciate that. It's a late night chit chat, and there's something very specific that I want to talk with you guys about. I was going to do this earlier, but the timing of things didn't work out. That's totally fine. And what I wanted to talk with you guys about is a specific rune that I drew earlier this week that really stood out to me. So if you're watching this and this doesn't interest you, stop watching. But if it does, please continue. And click on that YouTube link that's in the description of this video. Click on the subscribe button. I hope that you guys will follow Midgard Musings. Many of the people who may be seeing this video right now are familiar with the page on Facebook and familiar with the channel that I have on YouTube. So I hope that you take a second to check it out, see if it's something that interests you, and if it is, go ahead and subscribe. And what I wanted to talk with you guys about tonight, or what I wanted to share with you guys tonight, is a rune that is very powerful. Has a lot of different meanings and has a lot of story behind it, if you will. It's a very deep rune. And this is Ansuz. In the Elder Fudark, so you have Fehu, Urus, Turisas, and Ansuz. So it would be the fourth. This comes after Turisas, which is the thorn, representation of the giants and of Thor. And it precedes Raido, the journey. Ansuz is Odin's rune. Okay? And it has connections with breath, divine intervention or divine interpretation, meaning that it has a very close connection to the Asir. It's a communication rune, and it oftentimes will appear when we are needing to listen to our inner voice. One of the qualities that mankind was given from the Allfather, Odin, was breath and cognitive abilities, to be able to reason and to think and to process and to have life in that sense, you know. Teaches us to accept lessons. It teaches us to accept lessons from many, many different sources. sometimes the most unlikely of sources. Ansuz. For me, this teaches me that there can be lessons that come from many sources that I may find as unlikely or not what I would expect, unexpected sources of knowledge and wisdom. And I feel like as a heathen and as a pagan in these modern times, we are faced with, or we see a lot of things that come up that we may find as conflicting to our personal beliefs, but that may be valuable nonetheless, and we have to sort of kind of decipher, right? And to kind of cut away the fat, if you will, to get to the good stuff, to get to the parts that mean something to us. So don't always necessarily take the fact that something is coming to you from a source that you may not necessarily look to as being a bad thing. Listen to the voices that are speaking to you. Absorb the information that's being presented to you, no matter where it comes from. And if it applies, as I say, if the shoe fits, right? I want to talk a little bit about the fact that Ansuz, as being Odin's rune, and as a heathen and as a pagan, we look to Odin as the All-Father. We look to him as being the supreme God, right? In our pantheon, he's kind of the main guy, right? But let me tell you something. Odin experiences and feels anxiety. He experiences worry, and he experiences many of the things that we feel as people and as humans. Maybe not in quite as big of a scale as he does, but Odin knows what is fated for him. He knows what is going to happen to him in Ragnarok, and he seeks to do things, and he does things to sort of delay the inevitable. He's always out seeking to find ways to postpone or kind of deflect what's going to happen for him in Ragnarok. He's always thinking of these things. He's always worried about these things, But here's the thing, guys, is that anxiety, doubt, fear, these things don't necessarily mean weakness. You can obtain wisdom in these feelings of doubt, and these feelings of anxiety, and these feelings of fear. There's wisdom, and here's why. It allows you to explore and search and find what it is that you're afraid of. You confront these things, right? It's one thing to experience something that makes you afraid. It's one thing to sit there and receive something that's, and let me show you. Ansuz is the shape of the rune, a descending pattern, right? It's one thing to sort of receive these feelings. It's another thing to face these feelings. And it's another thing to confront these feelings and to say, you know what, I'm going to get out of it. One of the things that Ansuz can teach us is to find our ears, right? Before you search for words. Quiet your mind. Find your ears. Listen, observe, absorb, receive. Because a lot of times you will learn more from listening and absorbing than you ever will from speaking. In the Elder Fruit Art pattern I spoke of earlier, Turisas, the thorn, representation of Thor, and Turs, which are the giants. This is chaos. This is unbridled, uncontrolled chaos. Turisas precedes Ansuz in the Elder Fruit Art. Ansuz shows control before the journey, which is Raido. Raido, the ride, the journey, follows Ansuz. So you can oftentimes be experiencing something of chaos, something of, reckless abandon, if you will. Ansuz, priest, it follows all that. There's something coming to you from unlikely sources, perhaps. It's a enlightenment of yourself. Odin is a wanderer, known by many names, always seeking, always searching, always looking for that piece of wisdom that will better himself and that will allow him to prepare for what's ahead, for the journey ahead. It's a very, very deep rune. It can teach us a lot. And I know it's late, guys, and I know that this is probably not reaching a whole lot of people on this live feed right now. But I hope that what I've been able to share with you, about this rune, about Ansuz, has helped you what you need to search for in yourself. What do you need to find in yourself and in the world around you? And are you accepting the knowledge and the wisdom that is coming to you in perhaps even the most unlikeliest of ways? I've been meditating on this rune a lot this week. This is one of the last runes that I drew for my weekly. It's a daily thing that I do, is I draw a rune each day. Today was Tiwas, tears rune, victory, justice, self-sacrifice. Before that, Ansuz. I made a post on Midgard Musings on the Facebook page about this whole week's order of rune draws that I made, and it all makes amazing sense for me in my personal life, to me, Ansuz really encompasses and embodies what it is to absorb the help that is all around us. Don't be so proud as to deny or reject help wherever it comes. You know, guys, I see a lot of stuff from heathens and pagans that display disdain and discontent with people in their lives who share an opposing belief system. And you know, we all come from different backgrounds. And I would say that most pagans that I know and the pagans that I know started in a background that wasn't a polytheistic belief system. I grew up as a Christian, in Christian mindsets, Christian beliefs. A lot of us did. And here we are now, following the old ways, studying, learning. You know, I see things from friends of mine on Facebook, on this platform, that reflect a, mindset that is Christian based. Do I feel any sort of resentment or disdain or any sort of do I reject their concepts? No. You know why? It works for them. It works for them, and they've received the knowledge and the wisdom and the path. They've answered the call. This to me is what Ansuz, answering the call. There is more coming into your life. Whatever it is, you need to answer that call, And there's no resentment, there's no hate. We don't all have to follow the same thing. If it works for you, then great. It may not work for me. I found something that works for me. You have found something that works for you. And stick with it, Anyways, guys, that is what I wanted to say about today's, well, it wasn't even today's, but it was yesterday's rune draw, was Ansuz, the divine calling. Odin's rune, the Wanderer, the Allfather. There's no pride to be held in sticking to one thing. Odin has gone out into all of the realms to search and to find and to receive and to gain knowledge and wisdom. Are we any less than that? Are we any less as beings and as creatures to say that we're better than the Allfather? I'm always seeking knowledge. I'm always out here in my own way every day looking to obtain knowledge of new things, Find your ears before you search for words. Know what it is to receive before you put out. And what you receive, once you've received, filter through those things. Use use what you've received to benefit yourself. And then in turn, allow that benefit to be shared with others. Benefit those around you. Knowledge does no good to be locked in an ivory tower, under lock and key, away from people. Share it. Everybody has to walk their own path. Everybody has to learn things in their own way. But what I learn, what I know, what I gain, what I have received, you see how Ansuz has descending angles? Okay, what I have received from the divine, what the All-Father has bestowed upon me, I want to share, and I want to participate and get other people involved. Find your ears before you search for words. I feel like this is a powerful statement that not only Ansuz delivers, but when it comes to paganism and heathenry, is that it's a religion, or it's a faith, it's a path that requires homework. You have to learn a lot. You have to be able to understand a lot before you're, I don't want to say qualified, but before you can step out and talk to people. And trust me, guys, I don't feel like I'm this, figure who's here to teach. This is me living in Gable, mutual giving. What I receive and what I learn, I want to share with people. That's why I started this whole Midgard Musings thing. That's why I do these little things with these videos, stuff like that. There's got to be plenty of people on here that don't necessarily dig what I do. That's cool. That's fine. I don't expect you to. But if it speaks to you, if it calls to you, if you feel a pull, if you feel a draw, don't reject it. Go with the flow. There's a reason why it's calling to you. There's a reason why that pull and that draw is so strong, and why it's affecting you in such a way. You should take note of that. It's very primal, and it hits you in places that you never thought you may have been hit before. And you may be scared, you may be curious, you may wonder why. And the curiosity is what will draw you. The why, you may never know the reason why, but the journey to find that answer will be rewarding. Anyway, that's about all I have to say. I know it's late, and there's not a whole lot of people watching right now, but I hope that this has been somewhat insightful for anyone who is watching or that will watch. There's a link in this video. If you've watched this far, please click on that link. It's to my YouTube channel for Midgard Musings. If you click on my profile name, you'll see everyday posts from the Midgard Musings Facebook page. Please follow those links. click on the Midgard Musings Facebook page and click the like button. And on the YouTube channel that is linked in this video, in this live stream, click on that. Click on subscribe if this is something that interests you. I post weekly videos, usually on Sundays. Sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling and what may be, striking me at any given point in time, I sometimes will upload a video in the middle of the week. But you can always be guaranteed at least one video a week from the Midgard Musings YouTube channel. And I invite you all to check it out. Click on it, subscribe. There's a little bell notification icon on the YouTube channel. If you click on that, it'll notify you every time I upload a video. So that's really cool. Anyways, guys, I hope that if you watch this, that this has been somewhat insightful. I feel really, really strong and illuminated in a way. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you for all of your support. Please check out Midgard Musings on YouTube and on Facebook. Share it around. I'm definitely pulling for 300. We're almost, I think it's somewhere around 260, close to 260 subscribers on YouTube, and somewhere's a little bit below that on the Facebook page. Click like on the Facebook page. Click subscribe on the YouTube channel. We're pushing for 300 on both platforms before midsummer. We have a month and a half or so to go before midsummer, and I feel like we can do it. So I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you all. I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your night, and take care.